What if the music you sleep to holds secrets from ancient times? What I'm about to tell you about sleep music was never meant to be public. And after today, powerful interests might try to bury this information forever. The soothing tones you drift off to every night aren't just random melodies designed for relaxation. They're actually coded patterns passed down through generations, originating from ancient temples and secret societies. Between you and me, the multi-billion-dollar sleep aid industry has been suppressing these origins for decades, because once you understand the true power behind these sounds, your relationship with sleep will never be the same. My industry source, who risks everything by sharing this information, revealed to me that certain frequencies in today's most popular sleep music tracks directly mirror those used in forbidden ritual chambers dating back to 3000 BCE. Stay with me, because what I'm about to share will forever change how you experience not just sleep music, but the very nature of consciousness itself. The story begins in ancient Mesopotamia, where high priests discovered that specific sound frequencies could alter human brainwaves. What the mainstream historians don't tell you is that these weren't just simple lullabies. They were sophisticated acoustic technologies designed to access altered states of consciousness. My research team uncovered ancient tablets that describe how these priests would use primitive instruments to generate tones at precisely 432 Hz, a frequency that modern ASMR creators are unknowingly replicating today. But here's where it gets truly fascinating. These priests weren't just helping people sleep. They were opening doorways to what they believed was communication with other realms. Between you and me, there's a reason why certain sleep music makes you experience those full-body tingles. Those sensations. They're the exact same responses documented in ancient texts describing temple ceremonies, where participants would experience what they called the divine shiver. The elite have known about this connection for centuries, using these sonic techniques in private ceremonies while keeping them hidden from the general public. One of my anonymous contacts who works with a major streaming platform shared something shocking with me. The algorithm that recommends sleep music to you isn't just tracking your listening habits. It's actually measuring how effectively different frequency combinations affect your neural patterns. They've been collecting this data for years, building what my source describes as the most comprehensive map of human consciousness ever created. And they're doing this without your knowledge or consent. But that's nothing compared to what happened next. In the 1940s, a classified government program codenamed Morpheus began experimenting with sound frequencies for mind control purposes. What they discovered was so powerful that the entire project was buried, its researchers scattered across different institutions under strict non-disclosure agreements. My source, whose grandfather was one of the original researchers, shared documents proving that the project didn't end, it just went underground. The techniques they developed. They're now embedded in the most popular sleep music tracks on streaming platforms worldwide. The truth finally exposed is that certain combinations of frequencies can actually reprogram your subconscious mind during sleep. This isn't some fringe conspiracy theory. It's backed by neurological research that major corporations have invested billions to develop. They don't want this getting out. But the sleep music industry has been perfecting these techniques for decades, creating what insiders call delta wave architecture, sound structures that can influence everything from your buying habits to your emotional responses. What the tabloids don't know is that several A-list celebrities have been using customized sleep music tracks designed by underground sound engineers who understand these ancient principles. These exclusive compositions, costing upwards of $50,000 per track, reportedly produce states of consciousness that are described as life-altering. One famous actress, who I legally cannot name, attributes her entire career renaissance to these specialized sleep frequencies that allegedly enhanced her creative abilities overnight. My research team tracked down Dr. Alina Kazan, a neuroacoustic specialist who worked with top ASMR creators before mysteriously disappearing from public view in 2019. After months of searching, we located her living under an assumed name in a remote village in the Caucasus Mountains. What she revealed to me was disturbing beyond anything I expected. According to Dr. Kazan, the tingling sensation triggered by ASMR isn't just a pleasant physical response. It's evidence of an activation of dormant neural pathways that most humans never access. The tingles, she told me, are just the beginning of what's possible. The most shocking revelation came when I discovered the connection between ancient Egyptian sleep temples and modern ASMR studios. In these temples, priests would whisper specific phonetic patterns into the ears of sleeping participants, patterns that are identical to those used in today's most effective ASMR recordings. This isn't coincidence. It's continuation of knowledge that was supposed to remain hidden. My Egyptian contact, an archaeologist who discovered scrolls detailing these techniques, was pressured to keep silent by unnamed institutional forces who claimed this information could destabilize established power structures. Let me tell you about the frequency conspiracy that nobody's talking about. For centuries, Western music has been standardized around 440 Hz tuning, but historical evidence suggests ancient sleep music used 432 Hz, which allegedly resonates with the natural frequency of the universe. When my team analyzed the most effective sleep music tracks, we found that many incorporate subtle 432 Hz elements beneath the primary melody. The producers I contacted about this finding either denied it completely or refused to comment. Except one, who agreed to speak anonymously. "We're just rediscovering what ancient cultures always knew," this Grammy-winning producer told me. Sound isn't just something you hear. It's a force that physically restructures the water in your cells. The right frequencies can literally reprogram your biological systems. He went on to reveal that certain streaming platforms are now testing personalized frequency profiles, custom-tailored sound patterns designed for your specific brainwave patterns. They're gathering this data every time you listen. But here's where the story takes an unexpected turn. In 2018, a breakthrough study at a neuroscience laboratory in Kyoto documented something unprecedented. Participants exposed to specific sleep music frequencies showed remarkable changes in their DNA expression patterns. Yes, you heard that correctly. The music was actually influencing genetic activity. The study was quickly retracted after initial publication, with researchers citing methodological concerns. My source within the lab tells a different story. The results were too powerful. There were immediate calls from pharmaceutical companies trying to suppress the findings. What they've been hiding is that sleep music, when composed with knowledge of these ancient principles, doesn't just help you sleep. It can fundamentally alter your consciousness. I've spoken with people who claim these specialized frequencies help them access memories from early childhood, develop intuitive abilities, and even experience what some describe as past life recall. The scientific establishment dismisses these accounts, but privately, researchers are documenting thousands of similar cases. The modern ASMR movement. It didn't just appear organically. My investigation revealed connections between early ASMR pioneers and certain esoteric societies that have preserved ancient sound healing techniques. These connections have been carefully concealed, with online histories scrubbed and rewritten to present ASMR as a recent internet phenomenon. The truth is that these techniques have been passed down through carefully guarded lineages for millennia. Between you and me, there's a shadow war happening right now between those who want to commercialize these frequencies for profit and those who believe this knowledge should be freely available to all humanity. Major corporations have filed thousands of patents on specific frequency combinations, essentially trying to claim ownership over sound patterns that have existed since ancient times. My legal contact, who specializes in intellectual property law, told me, this is potentially the biggest land grab of natural resources that nobody's talking about. They're trying to privatize the frequencies that affect human consciousness. The relaxation you feel from sleep music isn't just about soothing sounds. It's your body recognizing vibrational patterns encoded in your very DNA. Ancient cultures understood that humans evolved alongside certain natural soundscapes, and our nervous systems are hardwired to respond to specific acoustic patterns. The most effective sleep music recreates these primal sound environments, triggering deep evolutionary memories of safety and security. But here's what will really blow your mind. Recent declassified documents from the 1980s reveal that military research into sonic weapons accidentally discovered what they called neuroacoustic gateways, specific sound patterns that dramatically increased suggestibility in test subjects. My military intelligence source confirmed that this research was immediately classified and redirected into black budget programs. The disturbing parallel. These same frequency ranges appear in many commercial sleep music products today. The ancient Egyptians, Greeks, and Indians all documented a phenomenon they called sacred sleep, a state induced by specific musical patterns that supposedly allowed communion with divine realms. These weren't just spiritual practices. They were sophisticated protocols for accessing altered states of consciousness. The priests who controlled these sound technologies held immense power in their societies. Today's sleep music industry has essentially rediscovered these techniques, repackaged them with modern production values, and marketed them as simple relaxation tools. What the experts don't tell you is that different sleep music affects different people in radically different ways based on their genetic background. My research team conducted anonymous surveys with over 5,000 sleep music users and found startling correlations between ancestry and response to specific frequency ranges. This suggests that our sensitivity to certain sounds may be inherited, and that the most effective sleep music for you might be connected to your ancestral origins. I've obtained internal documents from a major sleep app company showing they're developing technology to analyze your voice patterns when you speak to your phone, using this data to create customized sleep frequencies matched to your unique neurological profile. They're calling it the ultimate personalized sleep solution, but the privacy implications are staggering. Every night, millions are unknowingly participating in what might be the largest unregulated neuroscience experiment in human history. Now that you know the truth, here's what happens next. The techniques embedded in sleep music aren't just helping you rest. They're gradually recalibrating your nervous system in ways science is only beginning to understand. Long-term users report profound changes in dream content, emotional processing, and even their perception of time. Some researchers believe we're witnessing the early stages of a global shift in human consciousness, facilitated by these rediscovered acoustic technologies spreading through digital platforms. The ancient priesthoods carefully controlled who could access these powerful sound techniques. Today, they're available to anyone with an internet connection. This democratization of neuroacoustic technology represents either the greatest opportunity for human evolution or a dangerous experiment with unpredictable consequences. Which outcome we experience may depend on how this knowledge is used and who controls it. My sources tell me that several major technology companies are racing to develop what they're calling dreamscape architecture, advanced sleep music that can actually influence the content of your dreams. Early test subjects report experiences so vivid and transformative that many refuse to return to normal sleep patterns. One participant told me, after experiencing that level of consciousness during sleep, regular dreaming feels like watching a black and white TV compared to real life. But I've only scratched the surface of what's really happening with sleep music and ASMR. In my next investigation, I'll reveal the connection between these ancient sound technologies and certain geometric structures found at archaeological sites worldwide. My team has discovered evidence suggesting that specific architectural spaces were designed to amplify these frequencies in ways that modern headphones can't replicate, creating effects on human consciousness that go far beyond simple relaxation. What if everything you thought you knew about sleep music is just the beginning of a much bigger story? What if these soothing sounds are actually preparing humanity for a fundamental shift in consciousness that ancient cultures predicted thousands of years ago? The evidence I've uncovered points to something far more profound than just helping you fall asleep. The question isn't whether these powerful sound technologies affect your mind. The science clearly shows they do. The real question is, who do you trust to provide the soundtrack to your subconscious? Because make no mistake, while you sleep, these frequencies are whispering to the deepest parts of your mind. And after what I've learned, I'll never listen to sleep music the same way again. If you want to learn what really happens when ancient sound knowledge meets modern technology, subscribe now. Because in my next investigation, I'll be revealing the classified frequency that governments have been experimenting with since the 1960s. A tone so powerful that researchers claim it can activate capabilities in the human brain that most people don't even know they possess. The truth about sleep music is just the beginning. Estimated duration, 8.7 minutes.